Well, several people in the cannabis community have found themselves at a bit of a crossroads following President Cyril Ramaphosa's signing of the Cannabis for Private Purposes Bill. The bill, which removes the use of cannabis from the Drugs and Trafficking Act, aims to decriminalise the possession and use of cannabis, let's call it dacha, shall we, for private purposes. While the move was hailed as a step forward by some others in the cannabis users community, are gearing up to challenge the constitutionality of the new law. They say it's not inclusive. Newzroom Afrika reporter Nasiphi Same investigates.
Signed at the 11th hour ahead of the 2024 general elections, the Cannabis for Private Purpose Bill has now been gazetted, a move welcomed by the industry who say it was about time.
After 6 long years, we finally got him to put pen to paper, and even though this is only a small victory, we definitely have the potential to create those 100,000 jobs that you spoke of in Sona. The cannabis industry is large, and as long as we have the full inclusion of everybody involved, I do believe we can make a huge impact, not only in this country, but make it a benchmark for the rest of the world.
However, not everyone is celebrating, and as the dust settles, some have labelled the bill as nothing more than a smokescreen.
The biggest pointer towards unconstitutionality, in my view, lies in the title of this bill. It's called the Cannabis for Private Purposes Bill, and that is a contradiction in terms, because we were supposed to have had a cannabis bill that takes care of all of the constitutional guarantees in our Bill of Rights, not just privacy. So the next step for the cannabis community is now to challenge the constitutionality of the bill that was just passed into law by the President. And for that, we would have to approach the courts again. And because we are arguing that both the President and Parliament failed in their constitutional duties, we would have to approach the Constitutional Court, the highest court in the land, in order to have this law declared unconstitutional, which then would mean that we would have to go back to the National Assembly, and the public participation process would have to start afresh and anew. And this is rather unfortunate because it has taken us 6 years to come to this point.
Michael Dupree, who has been in the hemp and cannabis industry for 2 years, shares similar concerns. While acknowledging the potential positive impact of the bill on his business, he believes that it falls short of being inclusive and leaves many grey areas and unanswered questions.
Maybe it needs more changes, like a lot more changes, and it might need a complete total reform eventually. But this was the first step to bring something about, and now there is a platform to discuss the things on that needed to be discussed. So we can see that the minister still has to make a lot of those regulations clear to us so that we can all understand. And I think this is also what leads to a bit of public opinion about the SAPS at the moment, which is not positive. And that's because as much as the directive for us is unclear about how much we can have and own and consume, the same thing is for them. The whole landmark ruling was in order to open up the cannabis as a cash crop and have it completely unregulated and have the trade happen all the way from Mpondoland to Kimberley to Bloemfontein and revolve the economy in this country.
For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Nasiphi Same in Cape Town.